Okay guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about what I think is one of my favourite topics. So I'm kind of, I'm really excited to be recording this video. I feel very selfish to my future self that I'm recording it now. But I'm going to talk to you about cleaning your room, and we'll go over why it's important, because I think that's a big part in the second thing I'm going to talk about, which is how to do it. So most people would like a clean room. A lot of people see having a messy room as part of their personality, and they think they like it. But I don't really buy that, because I was in that situation for a long time myself, and now my room is in, beautiful condition, as you guys can see. And I'd choose having a clean room every time. And it's really weird, because people often say this about sleep. Like, if you have bad sleep, you don't necessarily notice until you don't really notice until you get good sleep. And it's exactly the same with a tidy room. You don't realise how much it fucks up your life until you fix it. The problem is, it's an incredibly massive roadblock to fix actually cleaning your room, because it's so people just don't know how to do it. And it's quite a big thing. And obviously it's a big thing with Jordan Peterson, is like, your room's kind of your extension of who you are, right? And I know where he's coming from with that. So anyway, that's why it's important. It just fucks up your life, basically. It's just like, your life can be as shit as you can possibly imagine. But just start where you can start. If you wake up and you don't have to, like, watch where your foot's, where you're placing your foot, because you've got a bunch of shit on the floor that you're going to break if you step on it. It's like, that's one less thing to just fucking up your life. And the incremental effect of that is absolutely ginormous. Absolutely ginormous. So anyway, how do you do it? You've accepted that your life would be better if your room was clean, but you just can't seem to get it clean. And I know this problem because I've been there myself. It's really difficult to know where to start. I think the way to deal with that is to see it as a very gradual process, which it is going to be, unfortunately. You're not going to have, like, a lot of people who have messy rooms, they'll get kind of a motivation to clean it, and they'll be like, I want to clean my whole room in tonight, and like, sometimes it works, but when I've seen it, like, a lot of the time, and I can relate to this because I've done it myself, a lot of the time it's like you have motivation to do it, and you'll start, but then you'll kind of get distracted. Maybe you'll just start looking at some stuff that you found that you didn't realise you still had, and you won't really get anything done. You certainly won't clean your whole room. So I think this is one thing where you shouldn't be over ambitious. You should really just focus on small things at a time. So I think the best place to start is tidy your desk. And the way I go about it when I do need to clean my room, which is a constant thing, right? You still need to do it. What I do is, the rest of your room is messy, okay, and your desk is also messy. Forget about the rest of the room. Just make sure the desk itself is messy. Now, the rest of the room can be messy as well. Can be more messy, but you just got to clear the desk. So that's how I look at it. It's a bit like kind of solving a jigsaw. It sounds a bit patronising saying that, but somehow, if you just focus on one thing, get that as clean as possible, forget about everything else, then somehow, even though you've just kind of moved the mess into somewhere else, somehow that's a step in the right direction. So that's kind of my recommendation, really, is just focus on one thing. So for example, let's say you just got a bunch of, I'll show you guys. I've got a bunch of books here, right? Literally, if I wanted to clean my room, I would say, right, I'm going to start with a desk. I'm just going to take all this shit and put it off the desk. So this goes there. This, just chuck it on the floor. This goes there. This goes there. And I just keep on doing it until the whole thing is empty. And then you can stop there, or you can move on to another thing. So you can go, my floor's got a bunch of shit in it. Okay, pick all the stuff off the floor, put it somewhere else. And I know this sounds really sort of like a bad habit, but in my experience, it's just by focusing on one thing bit by bit and forgetting about everything else, that just eventually everything kind of comes together in a weird way. So I hope that makes sense, guys. But there are plenty of other tips I'm going to talk about as well. So the second tip, which I probably should have said this first actually, but the second thing is to, if you really don't know where to start, is just to hoover the floor. Because that's something that I didn't think about a lot at the time when I had a messy room. And then makes such a difference just having a clean floor. But it's just not very, again, same with everything here, like it's not really obvious until you do it. The thing about the advantage about cleaning a floor and why it's good to do it first is because it's so simple. You don't have to have any organisational thought at all. You can literally just get a hoover and do it. It's quite enjoyable, Meanwhile, cleaning up a desk is slightly less enjoyable. So that's another thing to do. And the next thing is this has really been the game changer for me, is to basically see it as an opportunity to just play some music. So a lot of people who have, again, me in the same position, don't have a clean room, and then they see it as like a chore that they have to do. But I think you've got to find a way to make it really enjoyable, and the best way to make it enjoyable is to just play music while you're doing it, or play an audiobook or a podcast while you do it, because it's just naturally, that's the perfect level of kind of not mind-numbing thing of cleaning your room, where you can just listen to a podcast or music, and it just goes really well. I think two things go really, really well together. So, and then it just becomes a positive thing, and even if you didn't have even if you didn't really enjoy cleaning itself, tidying your room itself, you'll do it again because you had the positive experience of listening to music while you're doing it. So that's the third thing, and that's basically it. But there's a last thing that I would add as well, which is don't be afraid to throw shit out. And this is something that I'm very bad at, because I do have a lot of stuff that I still need to chuck. When you, let's say you got a bunch of old t-shirts that don't fit you anymore or something, and you're thinking I thought it's a lot, should I put them all for sale on Depop or something, and then I can get some money out of them. But I think sometimes it's just a better thing to do in this situation is it's not like making money in this situation is not the priority. The priority is you have a clean room. If you have a clean room, that you'll make up the money you lose from the t-shirts by just having a clean room, because you'll be so much more organised. You'll be able to think clearer, and yeah, you're not going to make very much from the t-shirts anyway. So I had a bunch of tops that I had in my drawers. I just gave them to a charity shop. I don't get anything back for that, but it doesn't matter because it's just gone. They deal with it, and I never have to think about it again. And the chances are, and I feel very bad doing this because I see it's a flaw in myself, but the chances are, if you're hesitating about whether you need something or not, then there's no way you need it. Which it can be difficult. You've got to be quite ruthless about it, and I guess we kind of come from previous generations were very, very sort of sparse about what they kept and what they chucked, because of I was thinking about my grandparents' generation, because of because they're raised by the people who've been through the war, right? So the necessity to really hold on to resources was so much greater, and there's a very admirable spirit like holding on to resources. But the thing is, like, they'd actually use the resources they had. They wouldn't just let them collect dust in the wardrobe. You know, like, it wasn't out of sort of being a better person. It was just necessity. Like, they just simply had to. Simple as that. We're not in that situation as such. You know, if we were in a world war, then ignore this. You know, but we're not. So you got to respond to the situation you're in. So yeah, those are my 4 tips. I hope they make sense. Yeah, I mean, I think the real thing that's going to make a difference, I think, is just learning to enjoy it, and just think of focusing on tiny things at a time. And also, like, you'll see this for yourself the more you do it, the more you practice it, but it's just so much of a impact it has on your mental health. It's just enormous. Because you are really, I mean, a lot of this is just Jordan Peterson basically, but you are your room basically. That's just a good way to look at it. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I hope this was helpful. See you in the next one.